Welcome to Math World. Today's video, let us learn few tricks, time-saving tricks to solve problems based on fractions, which usually comes in bank exams and all. Okay. So what is a fraction? A fraction is a number which is expressed in the form a by b, where b is not equal to 0. In fact, this a and b are the integers. A is a numerator and b is the denominator. There are many types of fractions. Okay. First one is a proper fraction. Proper fraction. Say a fraction a by b is said to be a proper fraction if the numerator is less than the denominator. Of course, it should not be equal to 0. Okay, like say 2 by 5, like that. Okay, it's a proper fraction. Numerator is less than the denominator. Improper fraction, it's nothing but a fraction where numerator is greater than the denominator. Okay, when I take a by b, here a is greater than b, then we say it's a improper fraction. Next, like fractions. These are the fractions, they have same denominators, like say 3 by 7, 1 by 7, 13 by 7, something like this. If I write it like this, then these fractions have got same denominator, so we call them as like fractions. Unlike fractions, they have different denominators, like 7 by 8, 1 by 2, 11 by 5, like that. Okay. Next is mixed fraction. It's a fraction which includes a whole integer along with the fraction. A whole number with the fraction, like 3, 1 by 2, or say 4, 1 by 5, like this. It's a mixed fraction. I hope you know how to convert them into a fraction. This denominator, you keep it as it is. Now multiply this 2 to 3, 2 with 3. So 3 into 2 is 6. Add 1, it's a reminder. So 6 plus 1, 7. So this is same as writing like this. Okay, and it is converted into a fraction, improper fraction in this case. Yeah. And 4, 1 by 5, 5 into 4 is 20, 21, 21 by 5. Okay, this is how we convert a mixed fraction into a fraction. One more type of fraction, it's continued fraction. It's a fraction which has additional fractions in the numerator or the denominator. Like if you have, say this is a whole number added with a fraction 1 by 2. Thus 1 by 2, here this 2 is added with say 1 by 3, and thus 3 is added with one more fraction, 5 by 6, like that. Okay. And this is nothing but the continued fraction, and you have to go for simplifying this in this way. Okay. So you take this 3 plus 5 by 6, then you have to take LCM and all. Okay. Before that, I'll explain you few operations based on these fractions. First one is addition. How we do the addition, say 2 plus 5 is there with the 1 by 4. Okay, see these two are not like fractions, they have got different denominator. So if that is the case, you need to calculate LCM of this, and then you have to add them. Okay, 5 and 4 LCM is 20, then multiply 2 with 4 so that it is 8, 1 with 5 so it's 5, so it's 13 by 20. Similarly, the subtraction, okay, you need to find the LCM and then go for cross multiplication and then do it. And multiplication, suppose the same number I'll take, you have this, you have to multiply these two. Now in this case you no need to check for the denominator and all. Okay, directly go for multiplying the numerator with the numerator and denominator with the denominator. If you can simplify, then do it. Okay, and the division, suppose you have say 1 by 10 divided by 1 by 2 is there. Okay, then what you have to do is you just write the first number as it is, and this 1 by 2 is there, no, you just reverse it and multiply 2 by 1, right? So that now you do actual multiplication, numerator with the numerator and denominator with the denominator. So it's 2 by 10 and you just simplify this so that it will be 1 by 5. Okay, so this is the division. Now how the problem will be asked, they'll give you a few fractions and they'll ask you to find the large one, smaller one, or second highest one, like that, or they'll give you statement problems. You have to write down the fractions and then you have to solve. Okay, let us go for the problems. Oh, before that I'll just mention you the method to solve this. See, what you have to do is you keep it as it is, 1 by 2, this 1 you keep it as it is. Now this part you take, it's 1 over here, right? So 6 is the denominator, then 6 into 3 is 18, 18 plus 5, it's 23. So this will be 23 by 6. Now you take this 1 by is there, no? So this will be 1 plus 1 by 2 plus this goes up. So it's 6 by 23. Now again simplify this and proceed. Okay, this is in case of continued fraction, which is very rarely asked in competitive exams. Okay, let us go for the problems. First, I'm taking a statement-wise problem. A number whose 1/5 part is increased by 4, then it will be equal to its 1/4 part diminished by 10. Okay, I need to find that number, particular number. I don't know what is that number, so let me take it as n. Okay, and see, 1/5 part. 1/5 part means 1 by 5 of that number. 1/5 part is increased by 4. Increased by 4, that's why I'm adding 1. I mean adding 4. Increased by 4, which will be equal to 1/4 part. Okay, 1/4 part of that number diminished by 10. So you need to calculate that number. Go for simplifying. Take this to this side, this to this side. So this is 1 by 5 into n is same as writing n by 5, minus n by 4 is minus 10 minus 4, so it's minus 14. After that, so you can just simplify this. So it's 4n minus 5n divided by 20 equal to minus 14. Can simplify, minus n equal to minus 14 into 20, so n equal to 280. So the option number B. The denominator of a fraction is 3 more than its numerator if the numerator is increased by 7, the denominator is decreased by 2, we obtain 2. Need to calculate the sum of numerator and the denominator. Say, let me take the fraction as p by q. Denominator of a fraction is 3 more than its numerator. Okay, so if I take this as p, then the denominator is 3 more than the numerator, so it will be p plus 3. Okay, if the numerator is increased by 7 and the denominator is decreased by 2, numerator is increased by 7 and denominator is decreased by 2, we obtain 2 as the answer. Find the sum of the numerator and the denominator. So just simplify this. This is p plus 7 and this is p plus 1 equal to 2. Just do the cross multiplication. P plus 7 is 2p plus 2. Take this to the side, this to the side. 7 minus 2 is 5. 2p minus p is p. So p is 5 and q is p plus 3. Right, so it's 8. Now I want p plus q, so it's 5 plus 8. Sum of the numerator and the denominator is 13. Now I take up some mixed fractions problems. Okay, like they'll give you a fraction or they'll give you some problem. Once you solve them, you are going to get a mixed fraction. Okay, say it may be a problems like time and work problem, profit and loss, or average and all. You will get a mixed fraction as your answer. Say 12 5 by 4. Okay, this was the answer you are getting. But in the options, say they have given you the options like this. They are also mixed fractions, but they are quite different. Okay, the answer which you are getting, that is not there in the option. Suppose these are the options and you are getting this as a answer. Now how to check it, whether this is equal to this or this, right? See, in case if that is the case, we usually what we do, we go for converting this. Say it's 48 plus 5, so it's same as 53 by 4, and then I'll go for dividing 53 by 4, say once, so then it's 13. So 2 3s are, so 12. So I'll just rewrite this like this, 13 1 by 4. So this is the option. We usually do this procedure, right? We convert this into a improper fraction and then go for division and then rewrite. But this whole process takes lots of time, right? So we'll do it very easily. Okay, see, you just have this number. Look at this. When you look at these options, no, always look for the denominator. In this, the denominator is 4. Is there any number which has a denominator 4? Yes, this is the number. So you can directly tick this. Okay, that's the one case. But sometimes what happens is more than one option will have the denominator as 1. Okay, in those cases, what to do? Okay, so for that sake, I'll just tell you the same problem, how to do that. Say you have 12 5 by 4, right? So what you do is, all the options are carrying 13 as a whole number, right? So I want to make this as a 13. So for that, what I'm doing is I'm adding 1 to this. Since I have added only 1, what you do is you subtract the denominator from the numerator once. Okay, once you add this, this will become 13. And now since you have added only 1, you subtract the denominator from the numerator only once. So it's 5 minus 4. You keep the denominator as it is, so that this will be 13 1 by 4. Got the point? First thing is just look at the options. Okay, since all the options are carrying 13 over here, so I'm just adding 1 to the whole number so that it will be 13. Since I have added 1, you subtract the denominator from the numerator only once. If something is I'm converting it into a 14, then I'm adding 2, right? In those cases you have to subtract the denominator from the numerator twice. Okay, in this case you are getting say answer as this, but that answer is not here, and the previous method which I mentioned, that I cannot apply because here all the options are having the denominator 5. Okay, so that trick won't work here. So the only option is this trick. Everything is in terms of 12, right? So I need to add 3 to this. So I'm just adding 3 to this so that it will be 12. After that, keep the denominator as it is, but from the numerator you remove the denominator 3 times since I have added 3, so that the answer will be 12 3 by 5. 12 3 by 5. Now this is quite different one. You are getting this, but the options have different whole numbers. Alright. So when I look at this, the denominator is 3 in this case, so this can't be the answer, right? And when I take when I'll check for this, if I make this as 14, I'm just adding 1, right? So this will be 14. After that, I have to subtract 1 times the denominator from the numerator, right? So that this will be 16. So this will be the answer, and this is not there in this case. So when I convert it into a 14, then it must be 16 by 3. So this cannot be the answer. And then I'll check whether it is equal to 19 1 by 3. For that I need to add 6 to this, right? So that this will be 19. Then keep the denominator as it is. You subtract 6 times the denominator from the numerator, right? So that this will be 19 1 by 3. I hope you got the trick. So this is the answer. Now directly if I say I'll give you a number, say say suppose you have 42 5 by 7. See, these are all the cases I'm adding. Okay, you can even do the subtraction also if you want to write this in terms of 41 something. Okay, so you just subtract 1. If you do the subtraction here, then you need to add 1 times the denominator to the numerator. So this will be equal to 41. You keep the denominator as it is. Instead of subtracting, here you are adding. So this will be 41 12 by 7. If you want, I'll give you one more. Say suppose you have 23, a mixed fraction, 23 3 by 5. Okay, if you want to write it in terms of say 22, then you just subtract 1. Okay, it depending on the options, of course. So when you do the subtraction here, you need to add that many times the denominator to the numerator. So 3 plus 1 into 5 divided by the denominator, so that this will be 22 8 by 5. Okay, it all depends on the options you have. Okay, next, most commonly asked questions, finding the largest fraction or the smallest fraction or second highest, like that. Okay, so this is the problem. Among this, you have to find the largest fraction. For that case, what you have to do is we have to check for the difference between the numerators and the denominator. Okay, so 13 minus 12 is 1. Here again 20 minus 19, it's 1. 11 minus 10, 1. 17 minus 16 is 1. So when you have set of fractions where the difference between the numerator and the denominator is same, in that case a fraction with small numbers is the smallest fraction, and a fraction with the large numbers, that will be the largest fraction. When I consider in this case, this is the fraction which has got large number, right? 19 by 20. So this is the largest fraction. So there is no problem if you have all the fractions where the difference between the numerator and denominator is 1. So in this case it's quite easy, but you have different, like say 6 by 7, 5 by 6, 7 by 8, and say 4 by 5. Okay, I'm taking the same thing in this also. Here again the difference is 1, this is 1, this also has got difference 1, this also has got difference 1. So let me take the smallest one, and I'll take this as this is the smallest one because it has got the smallest number. Okay, so I'll take up one more example. Say find the smallest one. Okay, 2 by 7, 1 by 3, 5 by 6, and 3 by 4. Now you look at the difference here. 2 by 7, so the difference is 5. In this case difference is 2. In this case difference is 1, and when you take this also has got the difference 1. So among these two, the smallest one is this. Okay, but what about these, right? So for that sake, one observation you can do, if the difference between the numerator and the denominator is less, then that fraction is the largest one. Okay, if the difference between the numerator and the denominator is less, then that fraction is the largest one. But I want to calculate the smallest one, so the difference between the numerator and denominator is more, then that fraction is the smallest one, right? So in this case, when I consider these two, if I take these two, and this has got the highest difference, so this is the smallest one when I compare these two, right? And when I compare these two, this is the smallest one. But again, when I compare these two, this has got the maximum difference between the numerator and denominator. So this is the answer. The other way of doing this is, you got 2 by 7 and 1 by 3. You take up these two. When you look at this, you can directly make out this is the smallest one, right? So you take this 2 by 7, and in these two, because this has got the smaller numbers and their differences are same in this case, so I'm just taking this as the smallest one. So now I need to compare these two. So for that sake, what I do is I'll just take the cross multiplication. Okay, when I do that, you just list out the numerators. Okay, 4 into 2 is 8 and 7 into 3 is 21. Okay, since it is asked for the smallest one, among the numerator which is the smallest one, this gives me the smallest numerator. So this is the smallest one. So this is the smallest one. Okay, this is another way of doing. Okay, let us go for a few more problems. Okay, you need to find the second largest fraction. Now you observe one thing in this problem. These two are like, when I multiply this fraction with 2 and divide it by 2, so that the denominator will be same. So in those cases, I cannot go for applying the difference between the numerator and denominator is less, then that fraction is the greatest one. That I cannot apply, okay, since one fraction is a multiple of another. It's like at least the denominator, okay. So in those cases, I'll just go for taking the differences between the numerator and the denominator, okay. I'll go for that. Here the difference is 7, here the difference is 6, or 3, and here the difference is 5. So if I take the differences directly, then I am going to get these, right? But you can observe one thing, this fraction can be written in terms of this, right? Just by multiplying 2 to the denominator and the numerator. So I'll just rewrite them. Okay, you cannot decide by this because of this. Okay, so I'm just rewriting these fractions. Okay, so this I'm just multiplying and dividing it by 2, so that it will be 8 by 14 now and 9 by 14. Now you look at the differences. It's 7, 6, 6 and 5. So this fraction has got less difference, right? So this is the largest one. But what is asked? It's asked to find the second largest. So when I consider these two, this is the smallest one and this is the largest one. Now the thing is, I have to compare this with this. Difference is 6, second largest is asked, right? So this has got the difference 6. Now I have to compare among these two, 7 by 13 and 8 by 14. This is the second largest because smaller the number, smallest one when the difference is same, right? In this case the difference is 6. This is also has got the difference 6. So this is the smaller number, that will be the smallest one, right? So this is the smallest one. So this will be the largest one, and sorry, this is the largest one because this has got the largest number. So this is the largest one among these two, and this is the largest one, so this will be the second largest. I hope you got the idea. I repeat once again, when you have got such problems where you have one denominator can be written in terms of the other, in those cases don't directly go for taking the differences, you convert them. Okay, you convert that into the other, so that it will be very easy to calculate. Now in this case, when you do here, this has got the less difference between the numerator and denominator, so this will be the largest one, right? And to get the second largest, these two have got same differences. So when you have same differences, the fraction with the smaller number will be the smallest one, so this will be the largest one. Therefore this is the second largest. Okay. one more, find the smallest one. Here you got uh, big numbers in fact. Okay, so when you look at this, list out the differences. See, here again you have multiples also. Okay, be careful when you have the multiples. Okay, so if you directly take the differences, then you are getting the differences 4 here, here it's 9, here it's 1, here it's 19. Okay, in this case you can directly make out this is the smallest one. Okay, but the thing is, usually what you have to do is you need to convert them. So this is the multiple of these two things, right? So if I multiply 4 to this, so that this will be 52. So 9 into 4 in terms of 52 if I'm writing. Okay, into 2. This one I'm taking it as it is, and 33 by 52. Now you go for finding the differences. Okay, see here these three are like fractions, so the number with minimum, small numbers, that will be the smaller one, right? Smaller number is the smaller one. In this case, this is the smaller one, right? Among these two, because this 33 by 52. Okay, so this is the smaller one when I consider this. But with this, what happens? It's 28 by 29, 33 by 52, right? When I consider this, you can observe one thing. The difference between this is 1, right? And difference between this is 19. So the number which has got largest difference, that will be the smallest one, right? So 33 by 52 is the smallest one. Here you can directly write, but in these cases it won't work, so it's better to uh, convert them and then go for checking. Thank you.